Hello and welcome to English for You. I'm Seb.
And I'm Laura.
And we are back with another exciting article, a really exciting article.
Yeah.
Because we're going to the most exciting place in the world.
Wow, we are?
Yes.
Where's that?
Where do you think
Disneyland?
Better.
Seriously?
Better than Disneyland.
Better than Disney? I can't think of any other.
We're going to the library.
Samara, you're such a bookworm. You love going to the library, honestly. Or what about a bookstore?
A bookstore?
But then library.
I don't like paying for things.
Really?
So I like to go to the library instead.
Oh, to study or to meet people? For real.
Just to study. I like to go to study.
Or get free air conditioning.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay. My house has air conditioning, actually.
Okay.
Don't want to seem like I'm really fancy, but I have that.
Actually, that's one of my favorite things to do back when I was in high school or even in college, is going to the library.
Yeah, I love to do it now, actually. My college has a really nice library, and sometimes I don't need to look at the books. I just want to go and sit there and relax and study. It's very quiet.
It's usually quiet, yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's nicer than my tiny little rubbish apartment. So anyway, libraries are awesome. You can go there to borrow books. You can go there to study. Some of them have places where you can watch movies as well, play games. Yeah, so lots of reasons we would go to a library. And today we're going to be talking about all the different things you can do and how to ask for help. So let's get started.
Reading. Borrowing books from your local library. William is visiting his local library in Taipei. It's the first time he's been to the library alone, and he needs a little help from the friendly librarian.
Hello. Can I help you with anything?
Oh, hi. Yes, I'm looking for a copy of AMC For You magazine. I think last October's issue had an article about Taiwanese snakes. I'd like to read that.
That sounds interesting. Let me investigate where that might be.
The librarian uses her computer to search for the magazine's location.
Right. This magazine can be found in the periodicals section. That's close to the entrance on the second floor. You'll want to look for the educational shelf.
Thanks, that's helpful. What do I do once I've found the magazine?
Do you have a library card?
No.
In that case, just fill out this form and I'll give you one. I need your name, address, contact information, date of birth, and ID number. Once you've found the magazine, just bring it back to me.
Okay, so we begin by meeting our main character. His name is William, and William is visiting his local library in Taipei. Okay, so local, that means kind of like close or nearby. So we mean kind of the library that's near his house or the library that he goes to often. So when you say your local library or his local library or her local library, we mean the one that's close to their house you normally go to. I could also say like my local Carrefour, like my local Jialafu, like the Jialafu which is close to my house is my local one. So what's your local library? Or what's the one that you go to the most in your area?
It's actually really, it's like a 2-minute walk.
Oh, really?
From my home. Yeah. There's one that's actually pretty famous. 新天宫图书馆. It's quite pretty as well. So if you guys live near there, you could go and take a look. Okay, 我们的主角 William 今天他是去他靠近他家，也就是当地 local 的图书馆哦，在台北。And it's the first time he's been to the library alone. And he needs a little help from the friendly librarian. 那因为是他第一次一个人去，所以他需要这个 librarian 就是图书馆的馆员亲切的服务啦。We know what a library is, 就是图书馆。Librarian 其实 后面有 an 的名词或是形容词连用，是用来表示跟什么有关的人。所以这里 librarian 就是图书馆的馆员。
Or we could say something like a musician is someone who does music, who makes music. That's a musician. So William goes and he's talking to this librarian, and the librarian says, "Hello, can I help you with anything?" So we often hear this in any kind of service thing.
Yes.
So maybe in stores, in shops, sometimes even in restaurants. Can I help you with anything? So if they see a customer is kind of looking worried or doesn't know what they're looking for, they can ask them this question.
OK， 所以呢，通常我们会有一些像店员啦，甚至于像是服务生，也可能会说 Can I help you? Or do you need any assistance?Yeah， 这些都是用来询问别人说需要帮忙吗
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And?
So William says, "Oh, hi. Yes, I'm looking for a copy of AMC For You magazine."
Really, William?
Really? You know, William.
你真的有这么爱看我们的杂志哦
Your high school should have a copy of that magazine.
Yeah, you don't need to go to the library. We all have a lot of copies.
Or Esleet, you can get them in Esleet.
哦，对，可以也可以
You can get
成
them
品
in.
也
Yeah,
有
I saw them
成
in
品也有
Esleet. So you can find our magazines anywhere, but this isn't an ad. Let's.
OK， 我们没有要自入的意思，
对
但是 William 真的是在不是业配，他真的在找一份 For You 的杂志。这里他用了 copy 是指就是一本一份的意思。那如果你要说我在找什么，你就可以说 I'm looking for 这样的句型哦。
And then whatever you're looking for. So he's looking for this magazine and he says, I think last October's issue had an article about Taiwanese snakes. I'd like to read that. Okay, sounds very interesting. I don't know much about Taiwanese snakes. I almost stood on one once. Twice, actually.
Okay, I'm glad
Different days,
I'm
not the
glad
same day.
you are still here.
Yes.
好险你没有怎么样
Really big. Yeah, anyway.
真的站上去 You stood on
Yes, I was in Yangmingshan.
Oh my god.
And I was hiking and I went to, actually, I almost put my hand on it.
What?
I was crossing a river and I went to put my hand on a rock and then there was a really big snake, like this
a
big.
big one. I thought it was like a
big
small
snake,
one.
yes.
What happened to it though?
It
just
slithered
ran away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Snakes are shy. They don't want to
Cute.
be near you. But anyway, it was scary. So he wants to read about snakes, Taiwanese snakes. And apparently this is in For You's October issue.
Yeah.
Now, an
Last
issue...
year?
Last year, yeah. Last October. So an issue can be a problem, but here we mean that it is a magazine that came out at a certain time.
Yes.
So English For You is a magazine in general. And then obviously, because it's a magazine, it puts out magazines every month, right? So you get a new English For You in September, a new one in October, a new one in December. And so each one of those is an issue. The October issue is the magazine that came out in October. Or the next issue of this magazine will come out in May, and that will be the May issue. So he wants to read the October issue, and he wants to read an article in the October issue. Now, an article, that's a noun, is a piece of writing about a subject that aims to tell the reader about something. For example, a news article is a piece of writing about something important that happened in the world recently. A feature article, that's would be 专栏, right? 专栏 is a longer kind of article that talks about things in more depth, in more detail. So articles can be on print, they can be on paper, or they can be digital. So they can be on your phone, they can be on the computer, all of those. Let's look at an example sentence for article. Josie read an interesting article about rocket ships in Science magazine.
OK， 所以呢，原来 William 他在去年的10月号的杂志，他觉得有一篇关于台湾蛇 Taiwanese snakes 的文章，他很有兴趣，然后想要阅读。那 issue 这个字呢，在本课当中是指报刊的或者是杂志的期或是号的意思。
Here's a question. If I say someone has issues, do I mean they have magazines?
我觉得是他 No, I think he has.
Yeah, when you say someone has issues, it means they have problems.
他有问题。
Yes.
对呀。然后呢article 这个字其实就是文章或是报道，它是一个名词。 I love reading articles about psychology, 心理学 or fashion.
Or fashion, okay.
完全两个不同的东西。
Something heavy and something light.
Yes, and back to the article, the librarian says, that sounds interesting. Let me investigate where that might be.
Okay, so investigate is a verb that means to research something and find out about it. So the librarian means she will look thoroughly on her computer to see where the magazine might be kept. Now, investigate can be changed in lots of different ways. We can talk about an investigator. That's someone whose job it is to find out about things, kind of like a policeman. We could call them a private investigator if they are hired privately. Now, if we're talking about the act of looking for something or searching for something, we can call it an investigation. And an investigation is a search for something, normally in a very official way. So like a police case, for example. An example sentence for investigate is, when she investigated where the bad smell in her kitchen was coming from, Helen found that some milk had gone bad.
I think the librarian's probably thinking Taiwanese snakes. Interesting, that kind of interesting. 对，通常我们说interesting 其实是有点觉得很怪的感觉，所以他就说没有关系，他说我来查一下这在哪里。I know, I was thinking like Taiwanese snakes.
Yeah, she's probably searching like this.
I know, she's like, okay. So investigate 这个动词就是查出或是调查。比方像如果你听到很奇怪的声音在楼上 I heard a noise and went upstairs to investigate. So I want to find out what's going on. So back to the article, the librarian uses her computer to search for the magazine's location.
She does. She's looking for the location. Now, the location of something is the place where it is. So the location of my office, for example, is in Taipei. My office is in Taipei. And so is everyone's office in this room, I think, because we all work in Taipei. So our office is located in Taipei. We could also say that as well. Location can become a verb if we say that something is located somewhere. Now, we normally use the passive tense when we're doing that. So we don't say
that's right.
It locates. We say it is located somewhere. Now, an example sentence for location is, this hotel is popular for its location right on the beach. And we could change that into a verb by saying, this hotel is popular because it is located right on the beach. So we can use it both ways there. We can also actually use locate as a regular verb, like a transitive verb, but it changes its meaning. So if you locate something, you look for it and find it. Yeah, so like, for example, Susie is trying to locate her winter gloves in that pile of laundry. Or we could say the librarian is trying to locate the magazine on snakes as well.
Right, okay. 所以呢，接着我们看到这个就是图书馆的人，他是用电脑搜寻这个杂志地点，就是杂志放在哪里。Location 在这里指的是地点位置，它是一个名词哦。像是有时候可能我朋友来拜访我啊，然后可能呢我就要去找他，我就不知道他住哪里，我就会说 Can you send me the location of your hotel? Yeah, you can do that with Google Map.
Exactly.
And back to the article, the librarian says, right, this magazine can be found in the periodicals section. 这本杂志可以在期刊区找到。Periodical 就是期刊，它是一个名词，所以常常我们可能说 this something can be found in the blah 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 section， 就是什么东西可以在哪一区找到的意思。
Exactly. So she continues and she says, that's close to the entrance on the second floor. You'll want to look for the educational shelf. Okay, so the educational shelf, that is a kind of shelf. It's a kind of content that he's looking for. So let's find out what educational means. Okay, educational. Educational is an adjective, and something educational is something that teaches you about things. An educational video is a video that informs and teaches you about a subject. For example, an educational video on safe driving, for example. That would be a video about how you drive safely or how you manage your car so you're not going to cause accidents, how you are a responsible driver. Now, educational comes from the noun education, which means learning or the process of learning. So you can get an education in school, for example. You're actually getting an education right now. Now, an example for educational is Teresa is learning English and she enjoys watching American TV series because they are both interesting and educational. Of course, they're teaching her English.
OK， 所以图书馆员就说，哦，那是非常靠近2楼的门口。那我们要找什么书架呢？就是 educational 的书架。那 educational 这个形容词就是教育的啊，或是有教育意义的。Actually, I find some educational TV programs, they are quite fun to watch.
Yeah, they can be like documentaries, for example. I really like documentaries.
For sure. So back to the article, William says, thanks, that's helpful. What do I do once I found the magazine?
You read it.
Exactly. 他说谢谢你帮到我，那我一旦找到这个杂志要做什么呢？这里的 once 就是一旦就怎么样。Exactly, you read it.
You read it or kill flies, mosquitoes. No, he's asking like, how do I take it out? Or what do I do next? What's the next step? Yeah. So the librarian says, do you have a library card? Now, a library card is a plastic card that you have when you're a member of a library, and it lets you borrow books. So, for example, I have a library card for my university library, and if I want to read something, you know, for school, then I can go there and I can get the book myself. So basically, she's asking, are you a member of this library? And he says, no, I'm not a member.
Okay, and William says no. Okay, 所以呢，刚刚还记得这个图书馆员问他说 Do you have a library card? 你有图书馆的借书证吗？就是 library card。看起来 William 是没有的哦。所以呢，再回到课文 The librarian says, In that case, just fill out this form and I'll give you one. In that case 就是那样的话。而 fill out 就是填写，像是一个问卷啦，或是表格。也就是说呢，那么你就要填写这个表格，我就可以给你一张卡。听起来还蛮简单的哦。
Okay, so she says, I need your name, address, contact information, date of birth, and ID number. Okay.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Of personal information.
That's why I hate filling out forms.
Yeah,
it takes
so
forever.
Annoying. It's very 麻烦
Exactly.
Yeah.
所以要需要你的名字啊、地址啊、联络资讯啊、出生日期，还有身份证号码 ID number。其中的 ID 是 identification 的缩写，当然就是指身份证啦。
Exactly. So she also needs the contact information.
Exactly.
Now, contact is a noun that means communication with people, between people, either by talking or writing. So contact information is the information you need to be able to communicate with someone. So that could be someone's phone number, their address, you know, if you want to send them a letter or go to their house. It could be their social media, their line. Or you could directly ask for one kind of contact information as well. So you could say like, may I have your Facebook, for example? Can I have your Facebook? Can I have your Instagram? Those are ways to contact people. And an example sentence is, have you been in contact with Emily these days? Okay, so have you been, trying to communicate with her? Have you been in contact with Emily these days? Only by phone. So I've only spoken to her on the phone. I've only communicated with her on the phone. Also, you can actually use contact in other ways. You can use it to mean someone you know if you don't want to use their name. And we normally use this if you're a spy or you're the police. So we don't not use it in like day-to-day life.
Okay.
But if I say I have a contact in Morocco,
oh my gosh,
it means I know someone in Morocco who gives me information. It sounds like you're a spy. Yes. Or the contact is the spy.
James Bond.
Someone. James Bond, exactly. Or contacts can also be touching or, or hitting something. So, for example, or meeting someone. So, first contact is the first time you meet someone. Or a contact sport is a sport where you can actually touch the other players. So, like rugby and American football are contact sports. But soccer is a non-contact sport. You're not allowed to touch other people in soccer.
Okay, so contact 有很多意思，不过在本课呢，它是当作联系的意思哦，它是个名词哦。所以举例来讲 I'm still in contact with my high school classmates or friends. 就是我到现在还有跟我的高中同学还有联络哦 in contact. 那失联的话，我们可以用 lose contact.
Or lose touch.
Yeah, lose touch. 那常常我们会说 I need your contact number. 就是说我需要你的联络的电话号码。
Exactly. And we already talked about contact information, but let's take a closer look at information.
For sure.
Now, information is a noun that means things you know, or facts, or hearsay about something. So an example would be the information on your website is very confusing. You need to write it more simply. So I just mean like the stuff.
I've seen lots of those confusing ones.
The stuff on your website is confusing. You need to make it more simple. So information can be text, but it can be really anything that contains a message. It could be videos, it could be pictures, it could be any of that. That's all information, okay? And a similar word to information might be details. So we can talk about small bits of information. So the details of a party, for example, where the party is, who is invited to the party, what time the party starts, what clothes you should wear, should you bring a present?
That's too much information.
Too much information, too many details. It's too detailed. Anyway, let's move on now and go on to our next word, okay? So next in the sentence, oh no, we need to work out what the Chinese word is for information,
That's
right?
Yeah. I haven't explained. Information 这个字呢就是资讯啊、资料，它是个名词。那注意哦 you cannot add s to this word, okay? Don't say I need some informations about hotels. Just simply I need some information about hotels. 那如果要讲一则资讯 you can say one piece of information.
Yes, one piece of information. Okay, so we've got they've given the information.
Right?
William is signing up for his library card. And the librarian says, once you've found the magazine, just bring it back to me.
Okay. 所以他一旦找到那个杂志，就可以就是拿回来这个图书馆这边哦。
Nice and easy. Okay, let's go through to our For You Chat question now.
For You Chat.
Well, for our For You Chat question, since you're a bookworm and you really love going to the library, I'm going to ask you this one. How often do you visit the library? What do you like to read there?
Okay, well, I already told you about me going to my university library.
Right.
I go there all the time.
What about?
But sometimes on the weekend, so maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months, I like to go to Beitou Public Library.
Oh.
Yes.
I've seen pictures of Beitou Public Library.
It's so nice. It's really
nice.
Beautiful. It's up in the mountains. You've got forests around it, and it's a beautiful building in the park. So I think it's a really nice place if you have to do some work. Or to read because it has outdoor balconies and you can sit outside on a nice day and read. So I go there, but I actually normally bring my own books. Because it's all in Chinese and
oh, okay, that's right.
I'm really a slow reader in Chinese.
You just want to hang out in the library.
Yeah, I want to hang out in the library, which is something you can do. Anyway, you guys can ask that question to each other and we will join you tomorrow when we'll learn more about the library. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Article. Jackie likes to read newspapers, and he especially likes to read sports articles. Investigate. Some police officers were asking people questions when investigating the killing of the old man. Location. Jane's new house is in a very nice location. It's on top of a big hill and has good views of the sea. Educational. Educational. Ryan's mom is happy that he watches TV shows about science because she thinks they're educational. Contact. Mary wanted to call the salesperson to ask questions about a TV, so she looked up the store's contact details. Information. We're going mountain climbing this weekend. If you'd like to join us, I can give you more information about it.
智慧小补帖
Issue. Periodical.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net